Super Mario Sunshine is one of my all-time favorite games. Today, I'm going to be talking about my 5 favorite levels from Super Mario Sunshine. My name is James, and I started this channel simply because I love video games. If that sounds like you, please subscribe to my channel so that you can see more videos just like this one. Super Mario Sunshine was originally released on the Nintendo GameCube in, I believe, 2002. Today, it's available to play on Nintendo Switch as part of the Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection. I recently finished replaying the game, and these are some levels that stood out above the rest. First up is the Manta Storm. This is the first level in Sirena Beach, where your only objective really is to defeat this manta, this like stingray type creature that's been terrorizing the town and has absorbed the hotel. What I really like about this level is that it is a boss battle that really takes up the entire area. I also really like the idea of there just being an enemy that just starts as one large enemy and then you spray it with water, making it to divide into smaller pieces, and then eventually you spray all of them enough that they just disappear. As a kid, I didn't like this level at all. I found it to be quite difficult. All I could remember about it was it being very difficult, not being able to beat it, getting thrown around by these mantas, and then just getting a game over. But playing it as an adult, I actually find it to be quite fun. That I don't even bother at the beginning of the level, I don't even bother to clean up all the goo that's already there. I just go ahead and start the level, and I find the mantas' patterns and their movements to just be very predictable, and I have a very great time with it. Up next is the Goopy Inferno. I think this is the third shine in Pinta Village. Basically, this level takes place at night. The entire village has been covered in this red fiery goop, and Shadow Mario has taken FLUDD. I think what I like about this level is that when you don't have FLUDD with you, there's a certain amount of like desperation, and it requires you to do some more hardcore platforming. In this level specifically, you can make that platforming really easy by just making your safe and your close jump, or if you want to be a little bit more daring and do spin jumps and dives and all this stuff, you can do that too. If I remember correctly, this is the only level in the game. Yeah, this is the only level in the game where you have FLUDD taken away from you in the like main area. My computer just cut me off for a second. I ran out of storage space, and so I had to stop recording and then delete some stuff, and here I am again. I think I said everything that I wanted to say about the Goopy Inferno. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. Up next is the Caged Shine Sprite. This one is the third shine in Ricco Harbor. And what I really like about this one is that it's once again another really fun platforming level where if you're not very good at platforming, or if you're new to the game, you can kind of stay on the path that it sets for you, where you like go over some logs and onto a boat and over some walkways and kind of jump from platform to platform and do all this stuff. But then if you're a more veteran player like myself, you can jump pretty much right up to where you're trying to get to. That similar actually to the Goopy Inferno. This level kind of just tells you like, hey, all you need to do is get over here into this area to beat the level. And then you can kind of just figure out how to get there yourself. I really like that it can stay fun for both new players and older players. Once again, this is just a really fun platforming level. Up next is the Boss of Tricky Ruins, I think is what it's called. It's the second shine in Noki Bay. This one is interesting to me because when you're first introduced to kind of the like tunnel system in Noki Bay, and then So you're jumping through these tunnels, you're going from wall to wall and doing all this stuff. You're finding coins and blue coins. And then there's a boss at the end of it, which is pretty fun. And so, once again, I like this level because it is fun platforming. But I also think it's a really interesting way to kind of introduce you to the tunnel system that exists in Noki Bay and show you that Noki Bay is much more than what it first looks like. And the last one that I chose to talk about is actually the very final boss battle. This one I found to be really cool just because even at the very end of the game, they're still finding new and interesting things to have you do. I really enjoy that first section where you're jumping from the fire to the spikes and back and forth and trying to time all your jumps perfectly. Makes for some fun platforming in there. And then you go from that section to the boat section where you're trying to steer this rickety boat over this lava without hitting any of the pillars or the walls. And then you get to the third section where you're just making your way up to Bowser with the rocket nozzle. And the battle itself isn't really that great, but what I like about it is that you still get to do quite a bit of platforming as well. As a kid, when I played this level, this was the first time that I had ever used the super ground pound, which is what happens when you use the rocket nozzle to go up into the air and then you ground pound. And then when you destroy that little footprint thing, the part that you're on starts falling apart, and then you gotta jump up, but you gotta be careful not to get hit by any of the green goo, and you gotta watch out for Bowser because he might be shooting fire at you, and I just find the whole thing very exhilarating. Combine that with the feeling of I'm doing okay, oh no, I missed that jump, I'm falling, I'm gonna die, and then you remember that you have the rocket nozzle, and so you can just jump all the way back up there. I don't know if there's anything in this game more satisfying than using the rocket nozzle to save you from death in that final level. And that's everything that I have to say about the final level, and those have been the 5 best levels in Super Mario Sunshine. Guys, in the comment section, please let me know what you love about Super Mario Sunshine and which levels are your favorite. Until next time, the best way to keep up with me is on Twitter and on Instagram at James_Solar and on Blue Sky at jamessolar.bsky.social. Thanks, guys.